If you step back for a moment and look at the world today, something feels off. Not in a dramatic, headline-grabbing way, but in a quieter, more unsettling sense. Prices don't behave the way they used to. Governments talk about growth, yet debt keeps exploding. Markets rally, even as fundamentals deteriorate. And beneath all of it, there's a growing tension, as if the system itself is being stretched beyond its limits. Here's the uncomfortable truth most people don't want to confront. America is now carrying nearly $38 trillion in national debt, and global debt has ballooned past $250 trillion. These aren't just big numbers meant to shock you. They are signals. And historically, signals like these appear only at very specific moments, right before major shifts in economic power. What makes this moment especially dangerous isn't just the size of the debt. It's that this exact setup has happened before, multiple times. Over the last 500 years, the world has seen the rise and fall of dominant empires that issued the global reserve currency. And every single time, the collapse followed the same pattern. Different countries, different centuries, but the same mathematical ending. Most people only notice the collapse once it's already obvious. By then, it's too late. But the early stages are always quiet, subtle, almost invisible unless you know what to look for. And that's what we're going to unpack today. Throughout modern history, every major financial collapse has unfolded in 4 distinct stages. Understanding these stages is the key to understanding where we are right now. The first stage is ascension. A nation rises after a major victory, technological leap, or geopolitical shift. Capital flows in. Innovation explodes, confidence grows. Its currency becomes trusted, then dominant. Trade is settled in it. Savings are stored in it. This phase can last decades, even generations, and it creates the illusion that success is permanent. Then comes stage 2, overextension. This is where success becomes a trap. Governments begin to overspend. Military commitments expand. Social programs multiply. Debt grows faster than the real economy. To keep everything afloat, central banks step in, printing money and suppressing interest rates. Asset prices soar, creating the appearance of prosperity, even as the foundation weakens. At this point, everything still looks fine on the surface. Markets are high, employment seems stable, politicians are confident. But quietly, something changes. Stage 3 begins, the silent exodus. This is the most important stage and the least understood. This is when insiders, institutions, and smart money begin to move. Not in panic, not loudly, just methodically. Capital is shifted abroad. Exposure is reduced. Assets are diversified. Ordinary people don't notice because nothing has crashed yet. But the exit is already underway. If this analysis is helping you see the bigger picture so far, take a moment to like and share this video. It helps more people see what's coming before it becomes obvious. Finally comes a stage 4, collapse. Confidence breaks. The reserve currency loses its special status. Foreign holders sell. Inflation surges. Interest rates spike, or money printing accelerates. Asset prices fall sharply. Banks, pensions, and governments come under extreme pressure. The middle class, almost always, takes the hardest hit. What's shocking isn't that this happens. It's how predictable it is. Let's look at history. In the 1500s, Spain was the world's superpower. Gold and silver poured in from the New World. The Spanish currency became the backbone of global trade. Madrid was the financial center of Europe. But beneath the wealth was reckless spending. Wars, bureaucracy, endless borrowing. By the mid-1500s, insiders had already started moving money out of Spain. Interest rates on Spanish debt exploded. Then came defaults. Inflation destroyed the middle class. Spain's dominance vanished. In the 1600s, the Dutch Republic took over. Amsterdam became the richest city on earth. The Dutch invented modern banking and stock markets. Their currency ruled global trade. But wars drained resources. Debt ballooned. Speculation spiraled out of control. Quietly, capital began flowing to London. When the system finally cracked, the Dutch Golden Age ended almost overnight. Then came Britain. At its peak, the British Empire controlled a quarter of the world. The pound sterling was the global reserve currency. London was the heart of global finance. But 2 world wars buried Britain in debt. Attempts to restore financial dominance failed. Wealth and talent quietly left the country. By the late 20th century, Britain had lost its reserve currency status, and America took its place. Now ask yourself an uncomfortable question. Does any of this sound familiar? After World War II, the United States emerged as the undisputed economic leader. The dollar, backed by gold, became the world's anchor. Capital flooded in. The American middle class thrived. This was America's ascension phase. But in 1971, everything changed. The dollar was severed from gold. Pure fiat money began. Debt started rising exponentially. From under $1 trillion in 1980 to nearly $38 trillion today. Corporate debt, household debt, government debt, all expanding faster than real economic output. This is classic Stage 2 behavior. And now, Stage 3 is unfolding right in front of us. Foreign governments are reducing their holdings of U.S. debt. China, Japan, Saudi Arabia, European institutions, all quietly cutting exposure. The Federal Reserve and domestic entities are now the primary buyers of U.S. debt. That is not a sign of strength. It is a warning sign. Major financial institutions are also repositioning. Less exposure to U.S. assets, more diversification into commodities, alternative markets, and non-dollar instruments. This isn't speculation, it's risk management. At this point, many people ask the same question. Isn't America different? It's a fair question. America has military power, technology, innovation, global influence. But every empire in history believed it was different. Spain had unmatched military dominance. The Dutch had financial genius. Britain had industry and global reach. None of that stopped the math. Debt eventually overwhelms growth. Currency debasement eventually erodes trust. And once confidence is lost, it does not return easily. Here's where I'd really like to hear from you. Do you think the US can break this historical pattern? Or are we simply watching another chapter unfold? Share your thoughts in the comments, because this debate matters more than ever. So what happens next? Historically, once Stage 3 begins, Stage 4 follows within a few years. The exact trigger varies. Sometimes it's a recession, sometimes a geopolitical shock, sometimes a loss of confidence in bond markets. But the outcome is always similar. Trade slowly shifts away from the reserve currency. Dollars flow back home. Inflation rises. Policymakers face impossible choices. Raise rates and crush the economy, or print more money and destroy purchasing power. This is why preparation matters. Diversification is not about fear, it's about realism. Holding everything in one currency, one system, one jurisdiction has never ended well during transitions like this. Real assets, geographic diversification, reduced personal debt, liquidity, skills and relationships. These are the tools people have used for centuries to survive monetary resets. The people who make it through these transitions aren't always the wealthiest. They're the ones who recognize patterns early and act calmly while others remain in denial. This isn't pessimism, it's pattern recognition. History doesn't repeat perfectly, but it rhymes closely enough to ignore at your own risk. The signals are visible. The capital flows are measurable. The cycle is already in motion. The only real question is whether you wait for the collapse to explain it to you, or whether you prepare while there's still time. If you found this analysis valuable, like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the next breakdown. And as always, thank you for watching.